K218c bears some resemblance to its neighboring world, K218b, with its massive floating islands suspended high above. But while K218b's islands are eerie in their stillness, K218c presents a far more dynamic and chaotic environment. The entire surface of the planet is broken into these floating islands, carried by powerful winds that roar through a stormy, churning atmosphere. Below, a vast, turbulent sea stretches as far as the eye can see, making K218c feel like a world caught between extremes, where neither sky nor sea dominates, but both exist in a tense, unyielding balance. After carefully maneuvering, I managed to land on one of these islands, but the ground beneath my feet felt unstable, shifting with each step as though it were alive. The rocky surface is rough, barren, and covered in a fine layer of dust, untouched by life. There are no plants, no creatures, just the empty, hollow sound of the wind and the distant crashing of waves far below. It's a strange sensation, standing on solid ground that isn't truly connected to anything, floating endlessly in the space between sky and sea. The islands are massive, jagged formations of stone, with surfaces worn smooth by the constant exposure to the fierce winds that blow across the planet. They drift silently, their movement almost imperceptible at times, carried along by invisible currents in the atmosphere. The wind howls through the rocky outcrops, creating an eerie, almost mournful sound as it sweeps over the barren landscape. It's a sound that amplifies the sense of isolation, a reminder that this is a world caught in a state of perpetual emptiness. Far below, the sea is a stormy expanse, its dark, swirling waters whipped into frenzy by the powerful winds. The waves crash and break against one another, their movements chaotic and unyielding. It's as if the sea is alive, a roiling mass of energy and fury, forever churning beneath the islands that hover above. The distance between the islands and the ocean gives the impression of a planet divided, split between two extremes. There's a sense of tension here, a feeling that the islands could be swallowed by the storm at any moment, yet they remain, suspended in a delicate balance between the sky and the sea. As I explored the island, I was struck by the stark emptiness of this place. The rocky surface is devoid of any signs of life. No vegetation, no traces of organic material. It's a landscape stripped bare, left to drift through the atmosphere without purpose or direction. The ground is cold and lifeless, covered in a fine layer of dust that shifts with the wind. The islands feel ancient, as if they've been floating here for aeons, moving silently above the raging sea below, untouched by time but marked by the passage of countless storms. The atmosphere is thick and oppressive, filled with the roar of the wind and the faint scent of salt carried up from the sea. It's an environment that feels hostile to life, a world where existence seems impossible. The islands drift aimlessly, each one a solitary fragment of stone, lost in the vastness of the planet's turbulent atmosphere. Standing here, surrounded by emptiness, I felt an overwhelming sense of isolation. It's as though the planet itself is suspended in a state of limbo, caught between sky and sea, with nothing but the endless void in between. As I prepare to leave, I take one last look at the floating islands of K218c. They will continue their silent journey, drifting above the stormy waters, forever suspended in the empty space between two worlds. It's a place that feels haunted, not by ghosts or memories, but by the sheer vastness of the emptiness that surrounds it. K218c is a reminder that not every world is meant for life. Some exist only as echoes of something lost, fragments of stone and dust adrift in the infinite silence of space. The journey continues, but the memory of K218c will stay with me. A planet caught between two extremes, where the islands float above a stormy sea, surrounded by an atmosphere thick with wind and emptiness. It's a haunting place, one that speaks to the isolation and solitude that fills so much of the cosmos. This world, with its floating islands and turbulent seas, is a testament to the beauty that can exist in the absence of life, a reminder of the endless possibilities and the endless emptiness of the universe.